Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person, sponsored by the Precision Strip Company in Minster, Ohio. We talk about how they're always looking for good people. It's a great place to work, whether you're starting, changing, or finishing your career. You owe it to yourself to give them a call, check them out online, or stop in and let them know you heard about them on PressProsMagazine and First Person. Again, the Precision Strip Company sponsors the First Person for 3 years now. We wouldn't do it without them, and nor would we want to. It is the first show of 2023. We're talking basketball. We're at Russia High School. You see the mascot on the wall behind us, and Spencer Cordonnier, the men's basketball coach here, is our guest, first guest of 2023. I looked it up, young man. We did this 5 years ago.
Yeah.
During your first tenure.
Yeah.
So I thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, and that's no problem. No big deal at all. Yeah, we did do this 5 years ago. It seems like forever ago. But glad to be back, I guess. Not under these circumstances, but we're back at it, and we've been off to a good start. So looking forward to the second half of the season.
I think a lot of people in the area that are knowledgeable about basketball, particularly high school basketball, know the situation at Russia, the unfortunate incident that happened in October, a tragic accident that took the life of your basketball coach here, Dave Borchers, and I know that had just a stunning impact on the community, the school, the kids, certainly you, because he was your friend and you coached with him, so he's a colleague, and the fact that you're off to an 11-1 start here as we record this, putting that aside, certainly not something you can forget about, but to be able to work through that is as impressive as anything that I've certainly witnessed in my time at PressPros.
Yeah, it has been very, very hard in the beginning, and it will continue to be most of the year. I mean, we'll talk about us and me and the coaches. We'll talk about things that Dave used to say or stories about Dave, pretty much on a daily basis. So we all miss him. We all love him and love his family. He was the type of guy that made a lifelong lasting impact on kids that he coached. So that loss was very, very difficult, and the kids have responded very, very well. We got the patch put on, and we touch that patch before every game, and like Hayden told you, that's what we're playing for. Kids are resilient, but they have put it behind them, but they will never forget what impact he had on his time with them, and each and every one of them.
You talk about it, and it's cliche. Spencer, you and I have known each other a long time, and we've talked about a lot of kids over the course of your time here at Russia, either as a player or coach, and we talk about resiliency, and people pretty much take it for granted that what happened, the worst of the things that can happen to a kid this week and next week, he's back in competitive mode. The thing that I'm impressed with is the fact that if you talk to any of your kids, like Hayden Quinter told me last week, we're playing for coach, we're playing for the patch on our uniform. We don't want to forget him. We don't want to forget what he taught us, what he meant to us. They say, he was loyal to us, he loved us, and this season's for him. We would be cheating ourselves and cheating him if we didn't go out and play the way we're playing.
Yeah, and he did. He's right, and they felt it, and the kids that had graduated felt it. They felt the love and support that he gave to them, and when he was here and we talk about who we're playing next and preparing for him, there was nobody that prepared more for our next opponent than him. He watched 9 tapes one time. I said, 9 films, Dave? What are you doing? I said, you're killing yourself, man. I said, you are absolutely running yourself into the ground. You need to get some sleep. He's like, I just can't put things down until we play them, because I want to make sure every aspect of it is covered. And he just put his soul into coaching Russia High School boys basketball. and it showed, and those kids know it.
And certainly he's so into this community as well, because you
Yeah.
sense that when you're in the gym.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
the crowds that you have and just that unifying effect of coming to the gym to watch Raider basketball. And let's talk about that Raider basketball, because you can hear balls bouncing in the gym behind us while we're recording this. I mentioned 11-1. It looked like you could probably beat the Knicks or the Celtics there. You lost one last week to Jackson Center, another really fine Division IV team in the Shelby County League. Impressively, you came right back the next night and took down another team that had been unbeaten out of the MAC, and New Bremen played very well against them, scored a 20-point win. Tell us a little bit about what this team has got that makes it special, besides the fact that they've been together a long time.
Well, number one, they're really good kids. They're really good kids. They mesh well together. They hang out off the court together. They a lot of them play at least 2, if not 3 sports together. So they're around each other all the time. They have nothing other than to get along, because they have to, right? So, but they're just hardworking kids. I mean, from the first day of practice, and they just have gotten after it. And every day they come to practice ready to compete, and they compete at a very high level. And they just work. I mean, we come in for, whether it's an hour and a half or it's 2 hours, they're working. And that's the one thing that we expressed to them in the beginning, and we have not had to try to get them to work hard.
I think another thing is too, and a lot of people would butt in and say, yeah, but they're also talented. I mean, you've got all the components here. You've got some speed, you've got quickness. You certainly have attitude going for you. Plus, you've got at least 3 guys on the court at all times who can shoot the ball. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, we do. The one thing I told them was, guys, I told them on a Saturday morning shoot around one time, I said, it's hard to coach you guys. And I said, do you guys have any idea why? And one of them said, yeah, because we've got so many kids that can score. And I said, you're exactly right. I said, it's a lot easier to coach when I know, back in 2017 or 18, whatever year it was, Jack Dapor was my 3-point shooter. If we ran something, it went to Jack. And if we ran something to get it into the post, it went to Cole Tebby or Daniel Kearns. I've got 3 kids that can score in the post. And then, a handful, 5 or 6 of them that shoot it with a very high percentage from 3. So I was like, you guys have to do this on your own because I can't keep everybody happy, and that's part of the reason why they play so well together.
I would have bet $100 you'd have said something about defense, because we talked about that last week during the 2 interviews, the 2 game stories that we did, and you said it, the players said it, we got to play defense because that's where the easy baskets come from.
Yeah, and Saturday night we did that. We were able to turn Bremen over some, and in the second, especially in the third quarter when we made a run, late in the second quarter, we got some steals, some deflections, and got some runouts and got some easy baskets. Good defense takes care of good offense sometimes.
Spencer Cordonnier from Russia is our guest this week on First Person. Before we get out of here, I know a lot of basketball fans are going to want your opinion, because you've either played against them, scouted them, or know about some area teams that have been impressive. I've got a couple on my list. Who's impressed you so far?
Well, obviously Jackson Center. They, I would say, probably guard as well as anybody in the state. So they're setting themselves up for a good tournament run. We haven't played Botkins yet, but I've seen him play twice. Carter Plyman is still Carter Plyman. He can still score it. Fourth Army, don't ever count them out, because even though we did what we did in the first half against them, they came back in the second half and didn't quit.
Actually outscored you by 8 points.
Yeah. So, and they still have a couple kids that can score it as well. So, I mean, as far as any other parts of the state, I don't know. I don't know what's out there. I mean, Troy Christian's going to be around. They're going to be in a different sectional. They're still there. They still got Parker Penrod. which is one of the better, quicker guards that we've seen. So, I mean, you know, we're looking forward to the second half of the season, and you know, hopefully by the time the tournament time comes around, we are clicking on all cylinders for the most part. I mean, we have been, I think. But yeah, defensively is, you know, I told him last night after the game, I said, we won that game at the defensive end. So.
One of the remarkable stories in area Division IV basketball this year, and Division IV is where it's at if you're in West Central Ohio, because when you talk about Shelby County League, you talk about the MAC, the Three Rivers Conference, and those little teams out here in Auglaize and Mercer and Shelby County. It doesn't get much better or more exciting on a Friday night, and this is certainly the mega center, epicenter of it here in last week or so far through the first half of the season here in Jackson Center in Shelby County. Wish you the best. Your story is remarkable. Your kids are remarkable. The people in this community are remarkable for what they're living through, and they're showing that special feeling through basketball here on Friday and Saturday nights, and I applaud you for that.
Yeah, well, we thank you for all the coverage that PressPro gives to us.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Spencer, appreciate it. Happy New Year. Stay healthy. And we're going to see you several more times. Spencer Cordonnier, the men's basketball coach here at Russia High School, our guest this week, and that wraps up this edition of First Person Again, sponsored by the Precision Strip Company. Give them a call. Check them out. A great place to start, change, or finish your career, and great sponsors of what you see and support here on First Person and PressProsMagazine.com. Until next time, hope you have a great New Year's, or beginning to the New Year's. If you make resolutions, keep them as long as you can, then don't worry about it. We'll see you the next time with another edition of First Person.